What's going on, everybody? Today is Connecticut's Lifting Puerto Rico fundraiser. We are out here with all our vendors. Checking it out. There you go.
Wow, the news.
Yeah, but we out here in Waterbury, Connecticut today, guys. We're doing the Lifting Puerto Rico fundraiser. These are some of the vendors that we have. That was the back room. It's a little bit more quiet over there. But we got people over here. We're setting up right now the projector to be able to play one of the documentaries that we got here. But we out here today, like I said, we're in Waterbury, Connecticut. You know, we got the legendary Mickey Melendez in the building. You know, so we out here, guys. If you're in Waterbury, you want to come down, you know, embrace a little culture, a little bit of arts, you know, a little bit of education, come down. We in Waterbury, Connecticut. We here. You know, we got kids, adults, all demographics. We out here. Salute to the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center for renting out the spot to us. You know, Sister Damari, you know, Cynthia, Sister Alyssa. But we out here, guys. These are some of the pieces that we raffling off today. One of the brothers in Florida had painted this mural right here. We're raffling this piece off right here. I think they're going for like $15 a ticket. And then this is one of the pieces that I did myself. We're raffling these off for about $5 a ticket. So we out here, guys. This is a really dope piece my brother painted, man. Look at that. We setting everything up right now. Vendors are here. We about to get started. I just wanted to tap in with you guys for a little while just to kind of show you how we started up. We setting up right now. Let me see if I flip the camera. So I'm gonna catch you guys in a few minutes. Like I said, we just starting off right now. I'm gonna tune in with y'all maybe about another half an hour, 45 minutes when we already started up the event. But stay tuned, tap in, and don't forget, listen, go check the GoFundMe, go donate, contribute to the Lifting Puerto Rico project. It's on my page. Don't forget to go check it out. Go contribute. All gifts, donations will be going to the project. We will be down there from April 1st to April 15th. And like I said, this is just a little bit of what we got going on right now. So I'm gonna catch you guys in a little while. Stay blessed, stay positive, and always embrace your culture, guys. This is what we do. This is how you bring community together. Listen, and I'm on TikTok Live right now, right? Yeah. But if it wasn't for him helping us out with the spot right now, please, no. Listen, you got to take flowers and flowers to do. Could you please shout out the spot we at and what y'all do here?
Welcome, bienvenido. We're at the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center, 174 Grand Street in Waterbury. We're a home for the diaspora. Wherever you are in the Caribbean, Haiti, Jamaica, Dominican Republic, Cuba, Puerto Rico, we're a home for you. Everyone in the diaspora feel like you can come here. We love you. We love the young lords. Keep fighting. Keep luchando. Puerto Rico libre. And we love you guys.
Thank you. Yo, thank you. Come here. Get my hugs. There we go. We show love here. Like I said, don't forget, if you're in Waterbury, please come check out this space. This is definitely a need for the community, man. You need a place where you could be more culturally connected, embraced by your own people. You know, like I said, we are children of the diaspora, and the one thing we have in common is our cultures. It may be a little bit different, but it has a lot of similarities in it. So again, keep embracing one another, keep tapping in, and I'm gonna catch you guys in a little while. Like I said, if you guys don't know who that brother is sitting right there with the suit, that is Mickey Melendez. He is one of the founders of the Young Lords in New York City. We in Waterbury, Connecticut right now. What's the address here? 175 Grand Street, Waterbury, Connecticut. 174, sorry. 174, across the street from the post office, across the street from the library. There you go, Waterbury, Connecticut. So if you guys are down here, y'all want to come show up, show some love, support, or just stop by, please do me a favor. It's an open door. It's open door policy. Come in.
Then, great. You can now feel greater. It's never too late to make plans for the past if the future is to have a present. On your next sightseeing tour through space, stay down to earth for best results of what you were looking for and didn't find because it was all in your mind. The only place you didn't look for that endangered species in the invaded memory of 1898. Puerto Rico was never far away. New York City is the foreign country. I know you heard this before, but the airplane really didn't take off. So remove the overcoat, the scarf and the wool gloves, and put on supernatural straw hats, and teach yourself how to dance the way your ancestors knew how. Their house is still your house. Their eyes are still your eyes. Their hands are still your hands. Their land is still your hand. Mountains have flawless memory. There is no hiding from the sun or swimming away from the ocean when emotions were first discovered. The past is your future lover who you must and will and shall invite to dinner in the town you were born in. Even if you were born somewhere else, you were born there within reach of that tropical beach where you practice what you preach naturally, so help you to climb it. And even though some of you have sworn to never again return, at the end of your performance as a human being, you will learn that you never left the town that has kept you alive for so long. We won because we didn't lose our self-respect and self-esteem. We won because we didn't separate reality from the dream that continues to be a dream after we wake up. We won because we didn't stop partying when the record was being changed to listen to something else. We won because we have been found not guilty of defending our dignity by parents that live forever. We won because we are the ones who took off. The airplane stayed behind, knew his state of mind. And where did we go? Everywhere and beyond elsewhere. There are Puerto Ricans on the move. They were selling Pilar was there long before the first astronaut lied about walking on the street. They stay open all night long to celebrate the 365 holidays on the calendar of Puerto Ricans who can walk through walls to discover that they were not only born in Puerto Rico, but everywhere else there are people who like to have a nice time because the mind is a terrible thing that is absolutely brilliant, which makes us all remarkable and substantiates the fact that Einstein was also Puerto Rican.
Excuse me, really quick. Can I get everybody's attention really quick? I really want to thank everybody for joining and participating today. This was a big project for us, raising this money to be able to continue to work down in Puerto Rico after Fiona, to be able to send the goods. So I really appreciate all the vendors that did participate and join us today. So thank you. I want everybody to give a round of applause to everybody. I'm going to give a moment to everybody to introduce themselves, you know, talk about the product that you guys brought to the table today, your entrepreneurship. I'm also going to give, what here? No. Oh. I'm going to give him a second to speak, but I also, like I said, I wanted to thank everybody for coming, participating. Please do me a favor, stop by every vendor, show some love and support. This is why we do this. We have to uplift one another, especially in the times that we're in today. So again, support and uplifting one another is key, especially today, and this is what we're doing, is to be able to uplift Puerto Rico and our community. So this is the first step by unifying here in this space, and I want to thank you, and I want to give you the floor, because without you opening this space and you having this space in the board already, bro, we wouldn't be comfortable to have it. I want to thank you.
Thank you so much. Listen, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to thank Cynthia, I want to thank Subi, all of the young lords for really doing the movement work that needs to be done todavía por Puerto Rico, right? I'm Rafael Feliciano Roman. I'm the executive director and one of the founders of the Afro-Caribbean Cultural Center. You'll see some of my board members here. There's Celeste and Celeste over there. Lindsay's in the back room. I got 9 amazing Afro-Latina women of color together, and we said, vamos formar esto, ¿verdad? So no man is an island. Yes, we got to give it up for the women of the movement. I wear 50,000 hats. I'm also one of the co-founders of the Waterbury Puerto Rican Day Parade and Festival Committee. Cynthia's on that as well. Cookie's one of our founders, and we're also part of Brass City Bomba. We do a lot in this community, right? Angelina and her husband Carlos are part of Brass City Bomba. All of us are here, part of that. We're going to drum for you a little bit later, también. Natalie's in that too. But the Afro-Caribbean Culture Center exactly exists for this. We want the diaspora, right, to know whatever colonizer of choice came to your island and took over, whether that's Portuguese, Spaniard, Italian, French. We are still one tribe, ¿verdad? There was the Tainos and the Africans, right, who were forcibly brought over through slavery, rape, and pillage, but we are a united diaspora. We're not divided. Aunque si son Dominicano, Haitiano, Jamaicano, if you're Boricua, if you're Cubano, we are all united, and that's why I really love the work that the Young Lords do, right? And we work together, and it's all about collaboration. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have gotten Nelson Dennis to come to Waterbury, right? We do a book club, right? We work with Cookie and Fitness Fury, right, all the time. Give it up for Cookie because she does a badass job in this community, right? We are all about making this feel like your home, ¿verdad? And we are going to continue to do programming. We teach Vejigante mask making, Taino symbols. We're teaching you Taino language 101 coming up this summer. So if you want to learn the Arawakan language, come to the Cultural Center. That's what we're here for, to dismantle, right, and decolonize and come together as one people. We work with artists who are Black and Latina, and that's what we're focused on first. Y esta es tu casa. We want you to feel like this is your home. I saw the spiritualist here. There she is. I can't wait to have her come down. Any of you vendors, please feel que tú puedes venir. Esta es su casa, la orden. We are here for you. This is your home. Welcome. Thank you guys all so much. I cannot wait to buy some of these THC treats, some t-shirts, some stuff. Pero estamos aquí a la orden. The Cultural Center has a lot of things that we're here for you. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We just did a world premiere show called Calling Puerto Rico. We have a theater arm. We're doing an Afro-Latino film festival. We have our Bombazo and Barrio Arts Festival. So all of you vendors that I just met new today, every year, the Bomba people you see here, we throw a festival for artists. It is free to table, and if you're successful and you want to donate and give back, you can. But talk about uplifting our community. We want to make sure that you succeed also, ¿verdad? Subi, Cynthia, all of you guys, Ian, toditos ustedes from the Young Lords, from the bottom of our heart at the Cultural Center. Thank you. Puerto Rico siempre libre. Continue to fight, continue to give to Puerto Rico. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Mickey, can I get you really quick? Before we introduce the vendors, I did want to take the time out to introduce. Hold on, give me a second. Just changing information. But I want to introduce Mickey Melendez. Mickey Melendez is one of the founding members of the Young Lords of New York. He's one of the individuals. One of the founding members in New York. He actually took the trip to Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He took the trip to Chicago, long drive, and brought the culture of the Young Lords, the essence, to New York City, which they also elevated in their own way to be able to change society as we know it today. You know, we have things like the Patient Bill of Rights, Ocean Side Parking that clean up our communities, and that's thanks to the work that people like Mickey Melendez put in. So I do want him to introduce himself. Right now, I'm going to introduce the vendors and then we'll show the stuff.
Oh, okay. So why don't I come up when you're ready to do
Fabian, we can do that.
Pedro
So you got this.
All right, I'm gonna start. I got a vendor right here, so we're gonna start with the first vendor right here. All right, you ready? Go.
So I'm Nicole, owner of She Rise, Crystals, Apothecary, anything metaphysical. My symbol is to transcend. My belief is we can all alchemize our lives and get through whatever past traumas we live through, and to be the best versions of ourselves because we are limitless. So that's what the transcend symbol stands for. She rises, we rise. We rise above all. In the back, we have crystals. We have beautiful crystals. I mean, I've done so much floor work. I've been to Arizona, California. We go all over just to get the best crystals possible for you guys because it's part of your spiritual journey. You know, they're allies in the process. And that's what we have. We have t-shirts, hoodies. Come see us. We do healing work. She does hair, all of it. So we're here. We're your allies.
They're all the way in the back room in the back. So don't forget, you see all the tables here, but that back room.
That's us. That's us. Any questions? We're here to assist. Anything. We got you. You know? So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How are you? I'm Natalie. I am starting up Balance Botanicals, and I grow my own THC. Yeah, wow. People don't realize that cannabis can be extremely healing, and it's not about getting high. It's not about that. It's about finding the right balance for you with the right products. So I have some infused, I made my own infused butter, and included in that I have some cookies, peanut butter, chocolate chip, cranberry oatmeal. We also have homemade infused bath bombs. And for those of you that are not interested in CBD, we also have sea moss gel, and the benefits of that are right here on the table. So I hope you guys stop by and enjoy some of the goods that we have.
Hi, my name is Aina, and this is my niece, Janaya. We just started a small business. We haven't had no name yet because because we were doing it from home. Most of her donation, whatever you guys buy, is going towards her college because she's going to be going to college now. For New Haven University, and she will be our second generation in college. I don't have a business, but if somebody needs something sublimated or something for a small party, I could do it and stuff, and everything goes toward her education.
Beautiful.
Now the last table behind. If we have raffles for $1, we have a couple of things that we're gonna raffle.
Okay, that's nice.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Carlos.
Bring it up. My name is Angelina. This is my husband Carlos. We are from CA3. We just started making t-shirts last year at the Bombazo. So we do our own custom design shirts. We actually did our shirts for Calling Puerto Rico for Palante Theater. If you did go and see that awesome theater. CA3 was named after, of course, Carlos, myself, Angelina, and our two daughters, Angelique and Aaliyah. We do have our shirts. My husband does make paracords, and we also do water bottles as well, custom made. So if you want, you can stop by the table. We do accept Venmo and Cash App too.
Hi everybody, my name is Andrea. I'm with Your Mind, Body, Soul. So I'm a goddess life coach. I work with divine feminine energy, the womb. I'm back there today reading cards, tarot. If you want to come hang out with me, I have some crystals. Been seeing a lot of the kids. You can come grab a crystal, come get smudged down. I teach pole fitness in Stanford, and I just work with movement, yoga, and all that beautiful goddess energy.
Thank you for the crystal. Thank you. Can I get a crystal?
Yeah. Everybody, I'm Chris. We're from Blended Reality. It's a 3D custom printing business where we can print whatever we have up here or whatever you guys have. Think of, everything's custom. Come in multiple colors, multiple sizes.
How long have you been?
We've only been up for like 6 months.
Yeah, we're a newer company.
Small company coming up.
They're also in the back, so you don't see them right out here in front. So make sure you guys make your way all the way to the back, that back room. They're back there. I've seen some of this stuff. Looks great.
Perfect.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Eva, watch your feet.
Okay. Alright, I wrote in my notes because I get nervous. So I'm with Race, Ty, me and Ty are with Race. So we're Race, RACCE, which stands for Radical Advocates for the Cross-Cultural Education. We advocate for students of Waterbury, and by challenging systems of oppression, like the government itself, that may hinder children in Waterbury from finding their full potential in the school systems and stuff. We also have programs for the youth. Right now we have free headshots and part-time jobs, free photo shoots. So our table's over there, right next to the donuts. Where's the box? Check this out.
Eva, watch out. Okay.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
I want to speak Spanish. My English is not so good. So, buenas tardes a todos. Yo soy Yomari Fuente. Le doy gracias a Jan por hacerme esa invitación aquí. Es la primera vez que estoy en esta área también y en un evento como esta. Mi mesa está basada en paparazzi. No sé cuántas han escuchado de paparazzi. Pues soy agente de paparazzi. Ya voy para 1 año, gracias a Dios, donde me han ayudado mucho a exponerme.
So, donde nos te dan la oportunidad de que usted haga también su negocio desde su casa con horario flexible, ¿verdad? Sin nada de preocuparse, usted es su propio jefe, ¿ok? So, cualquiera que esté disponible a empezar un negocio, ¿verdad? Tengo mi trabajo también secular, trabajo en Amazon Prime, so, pero a veces uno dice, we need more money, right? So, fue una forma de yo adquirir un poquito, generar un poco más de dinero y también como persona desarrollar unos talentos, ¿verdad? Que cada una de nosotras tenemos y a veces tenemos que ponernos de esta manera. Así que cada pieza está a $5. Hay una línea que se llama Stick Collection, eso tiene un costo de $25. So, disponible, tengo los websites ahí, donde ustedes me pueden seguir por Facebook, Instagram, TikTok y también tengo Linktree también. Así que gracias nuevamente.
You get a cookie. Aquí al lado tuyo. Okay. Muy buenas tardes. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Miss Cookie from Fitness Fury. I have my tribe over there. My Taina queens. Yes, I already named them as queens. I am the owner, founder, and CEO of the Fitness Fury Experience. What that is a mobile gym. We bring health and wellness fitness directly to you, whether it's your backyard, your church, your school. We're currently enrolled with all of our public schools right here in Waterbury doing their after-school fitness programming. I am so blessed to be able to say that through this organization, 8 years now coming on 9, that we have been able to provide scholarship funding for kids who are seniors getting into the health and wellness fitness for in any type of degree, non-medical. The scholarship is non-medical, so arts, crafts, crystals, anything like that. Radiology, where it's not medical, where it's physical therapy, occupational therapy, art, music, whatever the case may be. That is what we are promoting for our students here in Waterbury and the surrounding towns that we work in. Again, we are mobile, however, we do have a studio right here in Waterbury up on Homer Street. And we currently have a little hall where we're able to also provide you with any type of space, such as this beautiful location here. We will be bringing in some programs right here, thanks to Rafael. So be on the lookout for that. The applications for the schools, if any of you know of any student that is interested in the health and wellness field, and they are looking for that type of a scholarship, please have them contact their guidance counselor. The way we run that program, it's not just about the kid. It's about who is recognizing that kid. So we engage the teachers, the coaches, the guidance counselor to nominate these kids and have them then do a little essay and say, hey, why should I get this? Well, yeah, because you deserve it, and so forth. So please do stop by our table, get some information, our schedules, etc. We do personal training, Zumba, pound, you name it. We might be collaborating with Miss C over there with the pole dancing, so let's get so let's get it in. And I'm 100% in with how Rafael expressed that we are here as a community so that we can all work together and bring it in. Okay, we're not isolating each other from each other. We want to bring all these organizations and everyone together so that we can service that one purpose, and it's recognize.
I think that's all of the vendors except for
you and Subi.
one. Yeah. Yes. So first off, before I get into the last vendor, I'm gonna talk about the raffles. We have a few things here. Some of the vendors, you guys have actually donated some items. They're on the table over here. There's a price there. We also have some artwork. This piece right here was put together by our chairman. Subi did this one. This piece right here is a print, was hand painted by our deputy chairman down in our Florida chapter. Those prices, we're doing raffle tickets for $5 and $15 for a chance to win either one of those. And then the prices for the tickets for the items on the table are right there. Thank you for anybody that donated an item to be raffled off. All the proceeds are going to our Lift in Puerto Rico program. Basically tomorrow, I'm gonna say right now, tomorrow me and Subi are gonna be packing up a lot of stuff and shipping it off because we leave for Puerto Rico on the 1st. Yep. The program goes from the 1st to the 15th. So we're gonna be out there basically doing anything and everything we can with the program to give back and help out the people that are still suffering from Maria to Fiona to the earthquakes, everything that's happened, over the last few years, and it's happened since those people landed on our island and changed, the face of it forever. So the last vendor is us as an organization. Myself, my side of the table is the American made. There's my Boricua shirts. We also have other shirts that a lot of Subi's designs. This is how we're able to do the things that we do. We do fundraisers like this not very often, but we are going to do more. So you will be hearing more from us, needing your guys' help to support yourselves and support the things that we're able to do in the community. We are not 501c3. We're grassroots. So everything that we do out in the community comes out of our pockets. We get people that sometimes like to call us weekend warriors. Well, my weekend starts on Sunday and goes all the way to next Saturday. So this is a 7-day-a-week, 24/7, 365 days. This is how we do it. We're young lords, 24/7, 365. So please come support us, support each other. If anybody else wants to make an additional donation, all of the vendors that are here made a donation to be here to help us get our supplies out to Puerto Rico. But if anybody else would like to make an additional donation, we have our donation box here as well. Thank you. I cannot say that enough, because the biggest problem we see with the things that we try to do is the lack of unity. There's a lot of groups out here outside of the people that have their own individual businesses. There are a lot of organizations that want to help, but for some reason nobody wants to do it with another group. We want to work with anybody and everybody that has the same things in mind that we want to help the people in our community, the people that are oppressed. We want to let people know about our culture, which is, if we don't do it, Nelson, places like the center, our culture is being lost every day. So we want to make sure that people have the opportunity to get this information, to learn the things that are going on, to learn about the organizations like this gentleman right here, helped start in New York, and let people know about Cha-Cha Melendez, who started this all off for us from the beginning in Chicago, and get this information out. This is part of our history, not the history that they preach to us in the book, not the stuff that they make us learn, and then when we hear about this, we're like, where did that come from? We're gonna teach you. We're gonna teach each other, people like Nelson and everybody here. This is what we're here for. Thank you once again. Take time to walk around, visit each other, learn each other's names, take each other's business cards, do everything we can. This is part of our family. Now you guys are part of our extended family. Thank you once again.
Really quick, don't forget, without culture, there's no identity. Without identity, you don't exist. So this is why it's important for us to keep our culture alive and to keep pushing our culture and our backgrounds and where we're from, to keep those things alive. Because again, we're on the faith of being erased, especially in the books and the school systems right now. So really pay attention to what's going on in society. We're in a 50-year cycle. So a lot of things that happened 50 years ago, as this man can tell you and confirm, we're going through all over again. So again, it's important to keep our culture, our history alive and well. I really appreciate it. Please go visit all the tables. Please support one another. This is huge for us. We shouldn't just help one another when we're down and our lowest. And we shouldn't just help Puerto Rico, wherever we're from, during a natural disaster. We should be able to go down there and help where we're from consistently. That's why we're choosing not just to do it this time, but every 6 to 8 months to consistently go back to the island and continue to help out the island as much as we can. And I thank everybody for participating today. Thank you.
And here we are 50 years later talking about the young laws. What it says is that a good act can never be erased. A revolutionary act cannot be erased.
It captured the heart of the people to be moved to the streets. And change doesn't happen if you don't have people on the streets.
Candy, can you cut the lights on?
Cut the lights on?
Somebody? Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Mickey, you want to come up?
Yeah.
So I want to give the opportunity for you guys to get a little Q&A. If you guys heard a familiar voice on the documentary, Mickey was actually one of those individuals that was on the documentary and firsthand lived the experience himself. So I do want to give him the opportunity to be able to answer anybody's questions that you guys might have after watching the documentary. I do want to give it to you, so. Go yours, Mickey.
Yeah. So any questions? So now you know, not that I wish anybody go to the hospital, but you land in the hospital and you get that patient bill of rights, you know it comes out of that history. It comes out of the history of 3 health clinics by the Black Panther Party and the Young Lords. So the good thing is that this film premiered in 2021 at the Tribeca Film Festival. It made the short list of documentaries for the Oscar. Short list is 15, and then they narrowed it down to 5. You didn't get the 5, but we made the short list. And the better news is that an organization by the name of Sisters from Los Angeles has bought the rights to make this movie into a feature movie, just to take over that sliver of the history of the Young Lords. So there's a recent book out if people are interested. It's called The Young Lords, A Radical History, and it's done by Dr. Johanna Fernandez. Johanna Fernandez is Dominican. When the book came out, it came out just before the pandemic. When the book came out, she won the 4 National History Book Awards. And rarely does a book get 2. And Johanna took all 4. And it's a great development of the book. You also have my book, which is called We Took the Streets. I did that about 300 years ago, actually, 2003, I think it's when it came out.
It's actually on Amazon, so you guys can actually go find that for We Took the Streets.
And it's just, it's not the story of the Young Lords, it's my story about the Young Lords. The story of the Young Lords is much more bigger and broader, and obviously Chicago has to play a prominent role in that story. So are there any questions, any comments, or I want to thank everybody again. I think I keep telling people, if you invite me, I will come. I promise that. I just need an invitation, and I'll be here. We need to support the next generation of people that are doing this work, because it's those people that are going to be representing us with dignity moving into the future. I think I had a conversation with someone today, and I said, oh no, we want to know what you did and how you did it. And I said, listen, that's not what's important. What's important is that you learn from our mistakes and you make your own mistakes, and then we both learn. Learn from the mistakes that we did. Don't repeat the mistakes that we did. And we did a lot. We had a lot of contributions, but we also failed in a number of ways. We failed in the way of not making it an intergenerational organization. We failed in not building an institution to protect those little things that we were getting, whether it was Black and Puerto Rican studies programs or healthcare, and people just, eventually went their ways. The one action that did was a Young Lord action years after the Young Lords had broken up, was the takeover of the Statue of Liberty on October 25th, 1977, when we put the Puerto Rican flag on the crown of the Statue of Liberty, demanding the release of the nationalist political prisoners. At that time, they were the oldest political prisoners in the Western Hemisphere. And eventually, they came out. We had a big celebration with them in Manhattan, St. Peter and Paul Church, and we gave the flag that we put on the Statue of Liberty, we gave it to Lolita Lebron, and Lolita Lebron took it to the graveside of Don Pedro Albizu Campos. So, a lot of good stories in this, but people need to make their own stories today, and that's what's important. And again, I'm here to support people in this organization moving forward.
We thank you.
Thank you. You know what? I'll break the ice. Not a question.
Okay.
So I heard. No, I'm not gonna make it hard. In the documentary, I realized that it was your voice when you guys took over the TV truck and saying that you jumped in the cab of the truck. How was that experience, and what was going on with the workers at the time, also in the communities, and just how everything happened?
Yeah, that was a result of the TB testing that we were doing. The first thing that we did was lead testing, right? Because in our community, again, there was a high incidency of kids going to school and being identified with a high lead poisoning. And lead poisoning leads to brain damage and all those kinds of things. So that was the first thing that we did, and we had connected with Mount Sinai Hospital Community Medicine to begin to do those tests, and they would do the testing. And then we would come back and do the follow-up to people. And let me also say that everybody in the organization, regardless of your rank or position in the organization, every Saturday you either went out to do lead poison testing or TB testing. That was not something that just the cadre did, members of the organization. So that was the first thing that we did. Result of that, 7 years later, around 1977, 78, they outlawed lead-based paint in New York City. And that again was a result of that work. The other thing that we started doing was the TB testing. We did the PPD test. When the PPD pops up and it's positive, you got to follow up with an X-ray. During that time, people from our community, this was at Barrio, right? You're safe in the Barrio, you live at Barrio, and especially when there's no translation, there's no interpretation. People were not apt of leaving at Barrio, to get anything. So there was this TB truck, and we negotiated. We were raised right by our parents, all of us, everybody see that, So always ask, always ask, always ask. So there was this TB truck that would park, as Denise said, throughout the city. So we tried to negotiate with them, said, listen, we're doing TB testing, we have, a significant number of people testing positive, park the truck in front of our office, of course, and, we'll have the people there. So I said, no. So then what we did was that we got the schedule of the TB truck. So when they went to Queens, we went to see how, okay, so this is how they disembark, this is what they do. We went to Brooklyn 2 weeks later, so when they came to El Barrio, we were prepared. I was working at the New York Blood Bank at the time. I had borrowed 3 lab coats, for us. So when the truck parks, the 3 of us, it was me and 2 other people in defense. The 3 of us taught martial arts in the organization. And I told these guys, be nice to them, we need them when we get there, So they parked, put on our lab coats. I take the front of the truck, we put the 2 technicians in the back of the truck with the 2 other people. Now mind you, I had never driven anything bigger than a Volkswagen in my life, okay? And this is like a 10 truck, double axle. The funny, not so funny story is that I'm turning a corner and I look at the side view mirror, and I think I described it in my book as seeing a kaleidoscope of colors jumping. I had run over a Piragua truck. Yeah. It's funny, I was scared shit because I didn't know what happened. I couldn't stop. I had to get to where, I hope nobody was hurt. So we got to the office, everything was set up there already. And when I went to Denise, who was the Minister of Finance at the time, and I asked her for $50. I said, listen, I need $50. $50 is a lot of money that time. You got on the subway for 10 or 15 cents, you bought a pack of cigarettes for 15, 20 cents, so $50 was pretty significant. So I got the money, and I'm walking towards, 116 Park Avenue where the Piragua truck used to be. And I see this young woman with this older man pointing. I say, And I gave him the $50, and they were very happy because it made up for the money that he would have made that day, plus he could buy and make another Piragua truck. But yeah, that's the takeover of the X-ray truck.
Anybody else got any questions? Because y'all let me ask questions. I can ask questions all day. I kind of poke at their history all day. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, and I can go online, okay? So you can text me and I'll text you the answers. Anything else?
Anything else?
Yeah, you got one more. Go.
I do have one more, but it has nothing to do with the documentary.
Yeah, fine.
It has more to do with the garbage offenses, because I do see that a lot of in our communities now. Even if when I go back to the Bronx still has the issue with the garbage, the trash issue. I don't know if you guys know, they actually did a garbage offense where they collected garbage in the community and blocked off the major intersections to stop the commerce with the trucks going back and forth. But I just wanted to talk a little bit on that, because out of that call to action, we also got the alternate side parking, the street cleanup, the garbage coming more than once a week to be able to pick up the garbage in our community. So I do want to talk a little bit about that.
Before I do that, a 6th grade class in East Harlem saw this. And then they invited me to, talk about the movie and stuff. But these kids, 6th graders, they were so moved that they want to go out and clean, a neighborhood, and I said, great, I'll go with you. And they wrote these letters that were like, I mean, at the job I told people, I wasn't this smart in 6th grade. I mean, I know I wasn't this smart in 6th grade. Talking about, we understand you didn't do this for the money. You know, we're glad you did it for the people. You know, that's a real important thing to learn early in life. You know, that not everything has a dollar sign at the end of it. There was another one that said, taking over the truck was real gangster, you know, 6th graders, you know, just wonderful, you know. So, garbage offensive. So, you know, the organization started as a study group at Estudio de Don Pedro Luis Campos. And, you know, at that point, we just started to read everything that was available at the time. And one of the things that we kept in mind, and I'm glad that we did, was that whatever you do, go out to the people, and that's how you get your support. Go out to the people and find out from people what their needs are. Regardless, you know, you may think that you know, but you're over here reading, you're not living their lives. So we go out to the community, you know, after having all this thing, and we're thinking about revolution and about all these big things, and people tell you, you know, mijo, look behind you, look at the garbage, you know, and this is the summer, right? So the fundamental issue is that when you don't pick garbage in our community, it becomes a health issue, you know? I mean, maybe when you go south of 96th Street, which is like, you know, the little Lanquitos are, maybe that's more aesthetics. In our community, it's an issue, you know, it's a health issue. So again, we go into, you know, a particular block, we start cleaning up the garbage, and I love the story because it always reminds me of La Doñas, you know, that those respectful elders in our community, con el moñito y la bata, they would come out, you know, with the brooms, you know.
The original guard dogs, so, you know, like the cameras.
Yeah. So we did that for a couple of weeks, and we said, hey, you know, we're doing the job of, you know, New York City Department of Sanitation. So I think there was about 100 and something street, 99th Street, there's a Department of Sanitation. So we go, right, because we were raised right by our parents, and go ask. So we go and ask for those industrial black bags and the industrial brooms, you know, those big brooms of the big Brussels. Because, yeah, we're tired of, you know, cleaning up, you know, poquito a poquito. So they said, no, okay. So the next week we come and we ask again. They say, no, we take it. You know, we took the garbage, we took the bags, we took the vessel, we came back to our community, we swept it up, and we had done this already for about 5 or 6 or 7 weeks. So Jack, we were tired of this, right? And no response from downtown, no response from City Hall.
They didn't pick up the garbage?
No. So what do? We go on 3rd Avenue, which is a broad avenue, a 6-lane avenue, put the garbage from one street, from one side of the street to the other. It's about 2-3 feet. And mysteriously, lighter fluid and matches appear. The garbage is burnt. Traffic stops. You know, people can't make money. You know, the next day they send someone who we knew, who grew up in the community, who was a mayoral assistant on his cigar, and saying, "What do you want? What's going on?" I said, "We just want the garbage picked up the same way it's picked up in all other communities." Garbage started being picked up.
Anybody else got a question that's not from me?
Right behind you.
Over there. Oh, yeah, I didn't even see you, so sorry, I apologize.
What programs came out of you taking over the People's Church in Harlem?
You know, a lot. I think that, we had a legal program, we had the free health program, that once we got kicked out of the church, we kept on doing that out of our office. It's just that the church was a great space, it's still a great space. As a matter of fact, there's a woman pastor there now who was trained in Cuba. She got her master's divinity degree in Cuba. So, you know, it's a great space, and they were only open 1 day a week, you know. The problem and the contradiction that we came up against is that the pastor at the time that we were there had just come from Cuba. So we represented to him everything that he was running away from. You know, we all had long hair, everybody wanted to look like Che, you know, and all this stuff with the berets. So that was the confrontation, you know, at the church. But eventually we took it over. We were there for 12 days. 106 people got busted, and the charges were eventually dropped. So again, it was another victory, you know, for us.
Thank you.
Yes.
You mentioned Cuba and Che. Like, were there any Cuban people that migrated from Cuba that you guys kind of tussled with? Because they were sort of anti communism because they thought they were leaving they were feeling oppressed in Cuba, so they came back and now you guys are communists.
It was mainly at events, you know, like when somebody from Cuba would come to the United States to speak, you know, and we would go, you know, the other side would also be there, and that's where, you know, the tangling took place.
So did the young lords ever like, was there like ever like kind of some static between like the Cuban Americans and like, not really Cuban Americans?
He's half Cuban, by the way.
Yeah, I'm a Cuban.
Oh,
Rican.
yeah,
he's a Cuban Rican.
But like, yeah, and how, were you also like, did you also like kind of struggle between like, you know, your half Cuban side and half Puerto Rican side to like come to where you are now? Like, how did that affect you?
No, I mean, once again, you know, history forms your identity, right? So once I got who my history is, you know, it was like, you know, I need to support the independence of one country and fight for the independence of another. You know, it's like the old Chinese expression, you have, you know, one foot in two different boats. But for me, it was no contradiction. It's unfortunate that, you know, I was looking for Cuba and Puerto Rico to be in the World Series. You know, the World Series, and then I would win either way. I don't, you know, root for anybody. But today I'm rooting for Venezuela. Venezuela and the United States. I'm going for Venezuela. Yes.
All right, so I know that you just said that you were not that smart when you were 12, but from my knowledge, most of you guys were really only like 13 to 15, 16, 17 years old. How old were you when when you were doing all this stuff?
The leadership age was between 18 and 21.
Right, okay.
So that was like, you know, myself, Juan Gonzalez, Felipe, Pablo, Denise, Iris. Then we had a cluster of people like 14, 15 years old. And that was like dropouts and unemployed youth.
Correct. You know? And like most of you guys, like, or like even High Thurman, like when he talks, he says that like people came up with like a 3rd grade reading level.
Yeah, right.
So you guys
and then we had another cluster that was like in their mid-20s and early 30s. And those people that became young lords were ex-heroin drug addicts from the community that had kicked the habit, understood why, you know, the system kept them, why the machine, you know, perpetuated them and wanted them to continue to do that. And again, once they understood their history, you know, you just get on another path. You know? Yep. But yeah, and there's some great stories about some of those people, some of those ex-drug addicts actually have stories about that they learned to read, like reading the Red Book, you know, reading Mao Zedong's Red Book, you know, and stuff like that. That's how they got literate. And once they got literate, then they started to then read, you know, other stuff.
Last question.
Sure, hand go up.
Last question.
Yeah.
If anybody else wanted to go. No? Alright, my bad. So like the Bronx, right? So like during the Bronx burnings, like I don't know if the Bronx burnings was after young lords were like dismantled, or was it before they? Oh yeah, around the same time. Like, what was your guys' like take on it? Because I don't know if they knew what was happening at the moment, but like
everybody knew what was happening. Everybody knew it was the landlords burning it for insurance. Everybody knew that.
So like
it was the bottom line. And there is a documentary on YouTube, Bronx Burning. Talks all about that.
Yeah, my dad actually, he was in the Bronx at the same time too. Like I was actually last week I was in the basement and he would take pictures of the buildings that were like burnt, and like that kind of made me like go back and be like, why was the Bronx burning? Then I looked it up online, Bronx burning, and then the documentary pulled up and I was like, oh damn, it's an actual thing. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, damn.
Insurance scams.
Exactly.
Big insurance. Somebody else? No? Nobody else? Nobody? No other questions? No other questions, anybody?
Well, thank you all, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. We're about to, I think they're getting ready, man? You ready? They're ready. We're going to have the bonbon playing. I'll do a little performance for us.
Thank you.